we've decided that we're going to try to build a true house on wheels. After thoroughly studying the topic, I've come to the conclusion that an RV has to be big, so that you can bring a bunch of people together and embark on a trip to Norway or Switzerland, maybe for a skiing holiday for example, so that you can go on a trip to the sea with your entire family, and have enough room for everybody. That would allow you to travel all around Russia, or even Europe, without recharging or refilling your water reservoirs. And so after figuring out what we need exactly, we began looking for a base platform. It would be quite an understatement to say that this was a difficult undertaking. First off, large buses are mad expensive. Second, we needed a vehicle for which there would be plenty of parts available in any region of the world. Most importantly, this had to be a reliable rig, and after doing a ton of research, we decided that we need to get a Mercedes 303 series, which we began searching for all around the country. Hello. It's a cool thing, eh? A vehicle you knock on to get in. Yeah, true. We came to have a look at your bus. We want to build an RV, and for that purpose we need a bus. We're just browsing the options we have. You want to maybe start with the interior? Yeah, we can do that. These seats you can easily remove. The sunroof you can open like so. Some storage compartments. Here's the toilet, which is fully operational. Where's the toilet again? It's right beneath the TV. The unit itself. We have some cracks on the windshield. That's pretty serious. How much would this cost to fix? I was looking at another ad where the windshield was smashed. A buddy of mine replaces them. They go for about $260. It's registered to your name, right? Sure. No restrictions or anything like that? We nearly bought one, but it turned out to be seized on 2 accounts. Now this one is completely clean. It is pretty beat up. It's going to need some love. Here you have some dents, and it's completely rusted out on the inside. There is a ton of welding to do here. Then there's another one in the city center with the same kind of motor. Does it belong to you? I posted a white 300 series Zetra. I've got a newer one, but I'm selling that one at a completely different price. I can show that to you. Just a second. I'd like to run your plates to make sure that the vehicle wasn't seized by the police. This windshield is also cracked. Yeah, it's smashed. Here they are. They won't allow us to register this thing. The cabin just needs a clean. I can see some fresh oil leaks on the engine. Okay, Ilya. If I can just congratulate you on account of us not making a very serious, a terrible mistake. We were literally inches away. It's a good thing we didn't leave for Belgorod to look at that other bus, the one that turned out to be arrested. It may seem that we examined just those 2 buses, but in reality we've been at this for an entire week. We nearly bought that 303 in Belgorod. Then there was that okay-ish bus which the dude was willing to sell for $3,300. The traffic inspection inquiry on that one came back saying that we can actually register the bus, but once we rang up the shop that refurbishes these buses, the thing is that we need to requalify it as a C-category vehicle, otherwise we can't turn it into an RV. Well, they told us that the bus can't be any older than 30. All of these buses lack a VIN, and have just a chassis number instead. Traffic inspection doesn't have the appropriate databases for such old vehicles, so yeah. It appears that our initial plan to buy something for $2.5 to $4 grand is destined to fail. We need to find a bus made no earlier than 1992, preferably even closer to the knots, to guarantee that we have no problems once we get to the refurbishing phase. We still don't know. I mean, it might turn out that we buy a bus, try to officially register all of the modifications, but if that fails, we might have to sell it. So yeah, we are risking running ourselves into a corner. The point is that we need to look for a bus that's easy to sell. Easy to sell, and then there's the other vital criterion. We really want to be able to travel abroad, meaning we can't buy a Russian-made bus, since there won't be any parts available beyond Russia, which would present some serious issues. The parts themselves are bulky and heavy, and they are prone to failure. Those Russian buses. We need to adjust our search parameters, and probably prepare some more money. We don't have any other options, so let's keep looking for a perfect platform to build an RV. So when we dove deep into the specifics of requalifying a D-Class vehicle into a C-Class, we encountered a multitude of issues. We thought about it, and decided that we don't want to waste our time on that process, and instead went looking for a bus that had already been converted into our desired truck category. These buses do exist, though there aren't too many of them. If you just do a search for C-category buses, you'll never find the vehicle that fits the purpose. It's just not possible. And so after doing a ton of research, studying a number of websites and internet forums, we found out that there's a subset of vehicles used in television and movie productions, as mobile dressing rooms, trailers for actors, wardrobe wagons, and so on. And here's the best part about that. All of them have already been assigned the category that we are interested in. We are on our way to the town of Solnichnogorsk, specifically to a village called Luzhki, where our magnificent option awaits us. It's a truly gigantic bus that weighs in at 12 tons, which I think is some 12 meters long. So the plan is to get there and begin inspection. The seller says that it's in wonderful condition. It underwent a complete overhaul, it's fully serviced, everything is good. The papers are in complete order. We can't wait to see it. As is always the case, this looked a lot better on paper. These aluminum covers, they appear to be completely warped and bent up. The tires seem to be in nice condition. The windshield is cracked, and the replacement cost for a bus is pretty steep. Plus you can't get it registered like that. Back here the plastic trim is all cracked. But on the bright side, at least all of the bits are still in place. I can see some wooden planks in there, just as you'd expect from an old bus. The front tires are okay, but as for the ones in the rear, this isn't as bad. But on the other side, you've got chunks ripped out. This looked way better in the ad. Now we get to examining the interior, learning about what exactly they modified. According to the seller, they've done a bunch of internal mods. We've replaced the pads, pivots and everything. We fitted a new set of brake drums, like immediately as soon as we bought the thing. This looks like a powerful air conditioning unit. Oh, it's even two. One for the wardrobe section, the other for the dressing room. We had to overhaul the engine in this thing, the gearbox. Honestly, I don't even know. The price is very fair compared to the market average, but spending 12 grand on this? I mean, honestly, look at it. Well, at the very least, everything does appear to be dry underneath. That Mercedes 303 series bus we examined earlier on, it had plenty of leakage happening. It had a few massive leaks. The power steering pump was whining. At least here you don't have any of that. I'm not feeling an unmanageable urge to buy this thing. I like how the engine runs. It's not particularly fresh. Some areas look okay, but others... The air conditioning is where it's at. Yeah, this room is the right place to chill on a balmy day. After examining this bus, we had a long discussion on whether we should buy it or not. Even after negotiations, we weren't able to get the price down any lower than $12,000. The running gear could be graded as B-, but for us the main selling point was the fact that the papers were absolutely perfect on this thing. And ultimately the entire team came to the decision to purchase this Volvo. After all, we weren't able to find any decent alternatives. So we're leaving this town with its very telling name. I take it it's just a coincidence and it means nothing. Alex is in there pressing the throttle and all of the buttons, and he does seem to be capable of driving this thing. I also had a go, everything is okay. I'm actually very excited. It still hasn't sunken in, the fact that this thing belongs to us now. The most massive purchase. I mean, literally, look at its size. We're taller than everything around. We're touching the freaking wires. I think we're gonna be fine. This bus ain't no lemon. I'm sure it'll make it anywhere. Which is why with that, we're headed straight back to St. P. That feeling when you paid for fuel and you can't see your entire vehicle, because it just doesn't fit. With it being as enormous as it is. Is that 100 liters for real? 108. Filling the tank with 219 liters. Look at that diesel pouring in. Hopefully it doesn't consume it in that kind of stream. I'm quite worried. First off, we spent heaps of cash on this thing in its unknown condition. This wasn't bought off of the showroom floor, which would have guaranteed it being completely functional. I mean, for the money we have plenty of options in terms of something brand new. This one has seen some mileage. Probably a few million. We've got cops on the right, and here we are doing a U-turn. Am I good to go? No idea. But they're headed straight for us. Bye-bye. I don't know, I just have this feeling that we're in severe violation of the law. Then again, who really cares? Everything is in order, am I right? I can tell we're picking up some speed. By the way, we are packing 360 horsepower, so... I'm still having trouble getting used to this. Now look here. The people drove these cars to the store, right? This thing is so huge. Oops, wrong door. I was walking through this room and I saw a door. I opened it, and there's light behind it. This looks freaking epic, dude. Don't knock me out with that door. Honestly, it's pretty frightening to be here while we're moving. First of all, it's dark. Then you have these utilities for washing your hair. Wow, no, that's scary. That door just opened. We've reached the point where we trade places, but we do have a slight issue. I might have to elongate my legs. We've made it to St. P. We are in St. P. We were meant to buy something small like this. Wow, now we're calling something like that small. And that's our bad boy. We've parked it in this here lot. Time to get some sleep and rest. And come the next day, we make our way over here to see what exactly we bought. We were weirdly euphoric during the whole process. I have to say, it was quite a fun trip. Emotionally, I'm pretty overwhelmed. I really need to get my rest. And then we figure out where we go from here. Great, the moment has come and I can finally have a look at our bus, which is parked right here. And right off the bat, let me point out that finding a place to park this thing was quite a serious issue. Wasn't a simple task by any stretch of the imagination, and we're going to have to repeat the process quite a lot in the future. We can't take it to the village, since it simply won't fit on the local roads, and we can't go to the garage complex where we're gonna block everything off. But that's a moot point. What matters is we have a bus. I just want to take a good look at the exterior. Oh my god, is this thing awesome. Just look at how enormous it is. It's as wide as a bed is long. You can definitely place it like so and get it to fit in there. That's the maximum permitted width, just like those trucks over there. Doesn't get any wider. For sure, it looks pretty nice. I mean, sure, it is a bit beat up. You've got some warping, but nothing a bit of love can't fix. We'll make this look great. You know what, dude? As I see it right now, we should paint it silver, make it seamless, and write television on the side, so that they allow us everywhere. Especially since the papers do confirm that. You just drive right onto the palace square, and now imagine that some policeman comes up to us and asks, "What are you doing here?" And we're like, "We're doing a film about crooked cops." When I was looking at the pictures, I was curious whether the rear glass was intact. Here it's covered, but is there glass underneath? Nope. There's another issue in that up there you have a camera, and wiping it clean is a problem. I literally have no idea how. Using a ladder. Further down the line, I feel that we should slap a ladder onto the rear end going to the roof, since that's what everybody does. I know that after watching a million videos about RVs. We could also make a bike rack. That would be pretty sick, what do you reckon? Oh come on, there's no need for that. There's room in here for an entire fleet. Oh wow, that is huge. You could smuggle a bunch of people over the border or something, and multiply that by 3. I feel like this side could use a door. I'd love to be able to get in from this side. Holy crap. It's like a local power station subsidiary. You can tell that it's a bit rusty, but those aren't holes that you can poke through with your finger. That's nice. And now the important bit. Why we're doing this in the first place. Why don't the lights work? Since this is a dressing room, the lights here needed an external power source, which is why there's no lighting built into the bus itself. Wait, so this is the third AC unit. No, that's the second one. There's a heater in between. The ACs alone are worth quite a bit. It appears that they've gone all out with the heat insulation. That's one thing to check off of our list. Feel the lining, dude. It's actually pretty nice. So soft. Sweet! There is just so much cool stuff in here that we can sell one way or another. Like, that thing might cost around 270 bucks. Maybe even more. And the most interesting part, like Yegor said, the most unusual door that one could go through when you're moving. Yeah, especially when the bus is moving. This is lovely. I mean, check out how much space we got. This is fantastic. Congratulations with the purchase. We've made a gigantic step forward with this. And now we have everything we'll need to make the best RV that we can possibly put together. Yeah, we're gonna knock this one out of the park. We just need to relocate this divider and to begin working on the passenger compartment. In a C category vehicle, we can make up to 7 seats for passengers. With seat belts and everything. Yeah, 7 or 7 plus 1. I think we should make 6. That's great, since, I mean, here we have the 1, then 2. Originally, this bus would have had 2 seats here, a walkway, and another 2 spots. Sure. And so here, we'll be putting together a passenger compartment. What matters is everybody will be able to see the road, with them sitting in a row. We do have 2 windshields and 4 wipers. It is so great that this is a C category vehicle. That's an easy to acquire license. Now a D, it's about as hard as astronaut training, as it turns out. Also, on a C category special type vehicle like this one, you can drive right into the city center. We're not going to need to register any of the internal mods, like the air conditioning system, 220 volt power outlets, solar panels. Legally, we're in the clear. Since it's all spelled out in our papers, this used to be a special type vehicle, reclassified as a C category, so that's all totally legal. Wow, it fired up just like that. You'd never tell that it's a 91. Then you need to press the gas. And it's beginning to recharge. The alternator is generating electricity. Now we wait for the air system to fill up. After it's out of the red, we could set off and drive around if you can't wait anymore, but you're better off waiting until it gets to 10. Okay, so it's a long process then. Starting it, warming it up. Yeah, it's not like a car where you can just jump in and go. It'll take a while to figure everything out, but we'll do that as we progress with the build. As I see it, it only scares you in the beginning, with its size and complexity. But in reality, there's just a lot of it. Fundamentally, it's no more complicated than your BMW. The air suspension isn't ready to lift the vehicle. This is one serious piece of kit, and it likes to take its time. One of 2 things. Either we don't know how to lift the suspension, or it's already broken. It's been warming up for a good 5 minutes, and the air suspension is still limp. Throughout the build, we'll definitely fix anything that bothers us, and it should be in perfect condition once we're prepared for our first voyage. Okay, this side is looking pretty good. We've got some ground clearance, and this side is also getting there. That's a relief. The air suspension is okay, so we will be able to exit the parking lot. I can't go into the city, but who says I can't drive around the parking lot to see... Whoa, stop. Don't press down on that. That small thing on your left is the handbrake. Okay. You'll release it a bit later. There is air in the brake system, so it should work. There's another lever for release, but it's pushed forward, so you should be good. Now you press the clutch in. To get first gear, you pull the plunger and move the lever towards yourself. There we go. Don't turn the wheel. Gotcha. You have to go straight first. It is a bus. Can I turn it now? Go ahead. What an interesting sensation. I'm sitting in front of the wheels, and the whole thing is turning somewhere back there. It's like I'm drifting. Nice. And oh my, is it soft. I can already tell that this is the perfect bus for long trips. The driver's seat is suspended. I'm already keen to go on the ring road and see how it behaves on the highway. Like that? Yeah, that wasn't half bad. I guess I can go get my license now. Yeah, you've passed. Our first expenses, $10 for 3 days of parking. I mean, there's really no other place we could have left this thing. In anticipation of your question, no, we're not going to be able to leave it somewhere in the city. We haven't done any of the protection mods, so someone might easily steal the battery, the spare tire, and all of that, and those cost a small fortune. So for now, it's going to be paid parking. Has everybody paid for the ride? Sure. Mind the closing doors. It feels very soft and supple. Like, oh my god. The ride comfort in this thing is simply amazing, and the sound deadening is excellent. Driving around in this bus is going to be so comfortable. We just bought 2 pairs of seats for 27 bucks. They came with seat belts, and they're fully certified for use in our bus. And now we begin tearing it apart. After literally just buying it, it's time to get our hands dirty. I'd prefer to stick to the following strategy. Break as little in here as possible. We might be reinstalling a few things, or reusing some of the material, so I suggest we be careful. Wow, this is unexpectedly tedious and difficult. It took us forever to remove this one wall lining. It's almost 8 o'clock in the evening, and we started at 5. We weren't expecting this to take so long. That said, the build quality is top-notch. It's a shame to lay waste to all of this, since a lot of these elements, such as the ceiling, the leather on the walls, we won't be able to restore it. So this is very much a one-way ticket, but in the right direction. I guess we can congratulate ourselves. The most difficult stage? Then again, not necessarily, but the papers were a very important aspect indeed. We've purchased a bus, a C-category vehicle, we've relocated the divider, meaning we can go ahead and register the bus. If nothing comes up, well, that means we can dive straight into building an RV. We've installed a stock set of bus seats, which comply with all of the applicable rules and regulations. We even fitted them to the factory mounting points. The entire point of going through this hassle, when ultimately we're going to tear it down anyway, was to avoid any issues when we attempt to register this thing, like a note that says C category plus 1 extra seat, which would have been a serious limiting factor, in that we wouldn't have been able to take a bunch of friends with us on a journey. We needed to squeeze as much as we could out of this C category, and that we have accomplished. I think 6 seats should do it for us. I guess now we can begin building a true mansion on wheels, as opposed to just a house. We need to write out all of the stages. So far we've made it all the way to here, right? Currently the divider is located over here, yeah. So far we've only made it to this stage. We are going to tear all of that down. We also wanted to see what's going on inside. Upon doing so, we did find some rust, but nothing too horrifying. The condition really isn't that bad. It definitely isn't crumbling to bits. It's not a hopeless situation. Then you have that window tint which you literally can't see anything through. I think we'll need to remove it. I got like this close and I still couldn't see anything. Anyway guys, these are all the things we'll be working through in future episodes. And for now that's it. Big thanks for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss anything, and see ya!